السلام عليكم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد. اللهم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي آمين يا رب العالمين. Evo večeras ako Bog nećemo uzeti puno vremena, nekoliko rečenica da pokušamo skratiti. Dobro nam je poznato da se nalazimo dakle u vrlo bitnoj sezoni, a to je dakle mjesec Ša'ban. Nekoliko dana ili hefti do mjeseca Ramazana ako Bog da. Spominjali smo da je poslanik alejhi selatu vesselam iskorištavao ovaj mjesec za pripremu za Ramazan. Normalno za par dana, dakle u martu, ako Bog da 3. marta tačnije, dakle ne treba zaboraviti ni vrlo bitan historijski događaj, u stvari katastrofu za muslimane nakon preseljenja poslanika Muhameda alejhi selatu vesselam na Ahiret. Jedna druga katastrofa koja nam se desila, to je dakle 3. marta 1924. godine je umet ostao bez duhovnog vođe, dakle bez hilafeta. Hilafet je uništen, iskorijenjen, dakle 3. marta 1924. godine uz normalnu pomoć naših izdajica. To je dakle isto činjenica na koju se trebamo osvrnuti. Inače, dakle, mjesec Redžeb je pun tih historijskih događaja, a i mjesec Ša'ban. Neki spominju da je u mjesecu Redžebu bilo promjena kible. No, međutim, drugi govore da je to stvar prije, tačnije da je to u mjesecu Ša'banu, dakle u ovom mjesecu u kojem se nalazimo, promjena kible. Mi dobro znamo da poslanik alejhi selatu okretao se prema Kudsu, gdje je prva kibla, zato se zove prva kibla. I nakon toga se okrenuo prema Meki. Ima kuranska se hulu sufaha'u minen nasi, dakle reći će oni griješnici koji od ljudi. Zašto se kaže okrenuo? Ma wallahu ma qiblihim allati kanu. Zašto se okrenuo od kible prema kojoj su bili klanjali? Dakle, to je bilo Allahova volja, odnosno dova poslanika alejhi selatu vesselam kad bi god klanjao, uvijek bi želio da se okreće prema kibli Ibrahima alejhi selatu vesselama. I onda je Allah dželešanu dao da se okrenu u namazu za 360 stepeni prema Kjabi. Od tada je Kaaba naša kibla, odnosno to nam govori o jedinstvu. Mjesec Ša'ban i mjesec Redžeb su puni historijskih događaja i mi'rađ i dešavanja, a uz to isto nas veže da saznamo više šta je u stvari Palestina, zašto se zove sad Izrael, šta je to bilo, zbog čega je bilo, kako je nastalo, kako su došli oni tu i kako rade ovo što rade danas. Dakle, i to su činjenice historijske koje treba progovoriti. No, međutim, ne treba zaboraviti, za par dana, ako Bog da, 3. marta 1924. godine, je bilo uništenje hilafeta uz pomoć normalno našeg velikog bradera, komandanta, koji je to i dokinuo. To je Mustafa Kemal, koji je bio general u to vrijeme, a dobio je nadimak Ataturk, koji znači otac svih Turaka, kao što isto kraljevina Saudijske Arabije, Al Saud, isto su otac ili potomci svih tih Sauda. Ne se on to potom, to su ti detalji, nastupa, ja mislim, oko 99 godina tačno, natovarilo se na 100, kako smo bez tog duhovnog vođe, i eto, od tog dana, od uništenja hilafeta, normalno nema nam napretka, nismo napredni, a poslanik alejhi selatu vesselam to najavio, jednoj predaji, ja sam o tome govorio nekada podavno, gdje se spominje hadis kod imama Ahmeda ibn Hanbala u njegove musnedu, gdje kaže poslanik alejhi selatu vesselam da će kaže tekunu fikum nubuwatu ma sha Allahu an takun thumma yarfa'ha idha shan yarfa'. Kaže biće među vama poslanstvo onoliko koliko Allah dželešanu htjedne, zatim će ga, kaže, uzdići. Dakle, poslanstvo poslanika alejhi salatu vesselam bilo koliko? 23 godine, jel tako? 10 u Meki, jel? Odnosno, jel, 13 u Meki, a 10 u Medini, dakle, 23 godine. Poslanik alejhi salatu promijenio je, dakle, tog čovječanstva, dakle, za tih 23 godine. Evo, mi za 100 godina nismo uspjeli, dakle, da se dignemo na noge. A kamoli smo šta promijenili. Dakle, velika je nesloga među muslimanima. I mi to vidimo i evo i ovdje i svugdje po svijetu, gdje su god muslimani, uvijek nekakve kavge, uvijek nekakva, ali nekakva banalna stvar, da je to nešto bitno, da je to, dakle, ali eto, kakvi smo, helem nejse bil hajr. Zatim kaže poslanik alejhi salatu vesselam: "Thumma takunu khilafatu ala minhaji an-nubuwwa ma sha Allah an takun, thumma yarfa'aha idha sha yarfa'a." Zatim će kaže biti pravedni hilafet na, dakle, onaj menheđu, dakle, na onaj sunnetu poslanika alejhi salatu vesselam, onoliko koliko, dakle, bude Allah htjeo, zatim će kaže njega podignuti. I bilo je neki koliko 30 nešto godina, jel bilo, ako se sjećam, onaj kad se izračunao sve godine Ebu Bekra, Omera, Osmana, Alije, onaj, dakle, to je smatra se čak i Omer Abdulaziz, da kao peti pravedni halifa, da ubacuje se među njih 4, da je bio pravedan, znači negdje koliko nešto 30 godina, možda manje ili više, onaj, bilo je, nestalo. Poslije, dakle, poslanik alejhi salatu najavljuje, kaže, zatim će se, kaže, pojaviti onaj nepravedna vlast, koja je bila dugo godina nepravedna, evo i danas dan. I pojavit će se, kaže, ta zadnja etapa, dakle, ovo što vi zovu kako državni udar, jel, kad dolazi vojska, kad preveće kako ona hoće. Dakle, i to je danas vrlo poznato i to se dešava danas u mnogim državama, da vojska preuzme vlast. I zatim poslanik alejhi salatu vesselam je najavio, kaže, thumme, a zatim će, kaže, ponovo doći pravedni hilafet. Dakle, pravedno, to je ta zadnja etapa koja se čeka, ona će doći samo dok mi dođemo pameti. Možda, da li hoćemo mi tu biti, ili će biti naša djeca ili neko će biti. Uglavnom, dolazi ta etapa uz Allahovu pomoć koji, dakle, mora se uspostaviti taj pravedni hilafet da bi se završilo ovo što se započelo. Helem nejse, dakle, to je jedna, dakle, vijest koja je, dakle, nanijela dosta tuge i danas dan, dakle, ti svi 100 godina se trpi taj zulum, trpi se, dakle, belajku, iskušenje i tako dalje. Hajde vratiti se kasnije malo na ovo, nešto samo da i ove malo zadovoljimo na engleskom. Dakle, so tonight, inshallah, I'll just use a couple of words, a couple of sentences, not much of your time, try to be short as much as possible. So, as you know, we are in the blessed month, the month of Sha'ban, and it was the month of Rajab before this one. And after this, there is another one, the blessed month of Ramadan. So all these are seasons that the Prophet ﷺ advised us to do our best. Of course, it's not easy to say to yourself to fast or to pray, extra prayer, to sit and read the Quran and to ponder and think, because usually this is difficult time. It's difficult time. When we see minority are attached to the religion, minority are coming to the mosque, minority are praying, minority are fasting, it's hard. So you have to push yourself very hard in order to do something good. It's same thing if in our families as well. If somebody is praying, him or her, mom or dad, or daughter or son, by yourself, it's hard to continue to pray because environment around you does not support you. So it's a big battle, it's a struggle. Same thing in the companies if the minority are not fasting, or the minority, your minority, or among the minority who are not fasting, some majority are eating, going to the break, lunch, and you are alone fasting. So it's hard. It's not easy. So as you can see, so we are not attached that much to the mosque. Coming to the mosque is very hard. Everybody has different excuses. So this season, the Prophet ﷺ will advise us so many advices, and we talked some of them and mentioned before and after. So this is time when we should prepare ourselves, either physically or spiritually. The another thing is that month of Rajab is full of history. And we did not cover much unless we spoke that previous years, if you do remember. But if not, inshallah, we will repeat again to remember so many events. It's just not religious how the Prophet ﷺ did migration, the migration or the traveling, Isra and Mi'raj, how he goes up, and then what is the point of all this. And then, of course, the scholar says that it happened changing the Qibla. Some of them said it happened in the month of Rajab. The others said it actually happened in the month of Sha'ban. But anyhow, it happened. So these are facts, and why changing Qibla, and we used to face the Palestine, the Quds. Now it's almost no Palestine, even on the map. So what's happening? What did that? So there is history about that. How much do we know the history of the Masjid al-Aqsa, when it was built, who was building, and that our first Qibla, and all of the sudden, how do we find all these walls? And some other nations are occupying this territory, and so things are happening. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us. But as we don't know the history, so we are going down. The other important event that will happen in the next coming days, inshallah, is the March 3rd, right? The 3rd March in 1924. This date is the worst date in the Islamic history after the death of the Prophet ﷺ. That date, everybody knows it. That is abolishment of the last Khilafah or the last Caliph. That where there's destroyed the spiritual leader of the Muslims. Since then, we are still humiliated everywhere. As you can see, ununited here and there and everywhere. Wherever you find the Muslims, there is always disagreement. There's always some kind of fight, argument. And those all fights and arguments are for trivial things, non-important things. And we see it's happening. And but some hands wish they are fighting as it is most important battle in the whole world. So that's how people think. And that's why we are going down. Because, right, after a couple of days, inshallah, there is like 99 years without spiritual leader or the Khalifa. And he spoke about that, how the Prophet ﷺ announced that. So he said that the nubuwwah or the prophecy will be among you as long as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wishes that. And then he will raise it up. So the prophecy of the Prophet ﷺ was around 23 years. And he was able to change the humanity in these years. After that, he says, it will be Khilafah Rashida, ala minhaj nubuwwah. It will be the Khilafah, just the Khilafah ruler, who will go according to the Sunnah of Prophet ﷺ. And that's if you include 4 caliphs, including with them the Umar Abdul Aziz as the 5th one. It was around more than a little bit than 30 years. After that, he mentioned, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it will be, the power. Whoever is more powerful, he will be a leader. That's how it's happening in the history. You have Amavis and Alavis and Fatimis and this and that. All these dynasties, and they used to rule. But anyhow, it was a ruler, or caliph, or whatever you call it, Khalifa. And after that, we have the last leader, the Ottoman Empire, or we call the Khilafah Uthmaniyya, that was destroyed 1924 in the March, right? In the March 1924. So that was, of course, with the help so many spies from inside, and then, of course, our great brother, the officer of Turkish army, Mustafa Kemal, and his title is Ataturk, which means the father of the Turks. The same thing as Al Saud, which is the sons or the family of the Saud. So same thing, same tradition. So of course, all these things, when we talk about some nations got frustrated, and they got, because we talk about the reality of the history, what happens. Not against this nation and that, because nation in Islam is not well known, it's not recognized. That's why we are so fanatic towards our nationalities, but the nationality does not exist in Islam. It's called ummah. It comes from of course, those deviation, or what we divided by the nationalities from the West. And we love it right now. That's why we're fighting forward. So all this is happening as the Prophet ﷺ announced. And there is the lastly, he said, the knots of Islam will be undone one by one. Each time a knot is undone, the next one will be grasped. So next one will take over. So the first to be undone will be the ruling, will be Sharia. Of course, when they destroy the Khilafah, so there is no Sharia anymore. When the Sharia is destroyed, that's it. No justice anymore. And the last will be the prayer. The people are abolishing the prayers. Like in these days, Muslims, a lot of them, they're abolishing prayer. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us and guide us. So these are things that's happening in all this, but history, of course, is too long to talk about, but just to have some kind of the thing, because all these 3 months are connected together, and there is a lot of historical things that needs to be mentioned, and how we can reconnect ourselves and learn more about ourselves. That is our, the history, to learn about our first generation, the mistakes. You learn from the history, the mistakes they used to do, so we are not repeating same thing. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us through straight path. Amin. Dakle, samo da se nadovežemo, dakle, da hadis poslanika alejhi salatu vesselam kaže kako će se islam polako uništavati, kad čvorovi islama, kaže, će se raspljavati jedan po jedan. Dakle, odvezivat će se jedan po jedan. Svaki čvor kad se raspetlja ili kad se odveže, uhvatit će se za sljedeći. Prvi koji će se, kaže, raspetljati, koji će biti, dakle, uništen, je, dakle, suđenje po šerijetu. Vi dobro znate, na našim prostorima se sudilo po šerijetu. Normalno, kad je nestalo hilafeta, nema više šerijeta. Onda se sudi po nečemu drugome. A posljednje, kaže poslanik alejhi selam, bit će namaz. Biće namaz. Dakle, mnogi muslimani danas su, porušili namaz dobrovoljno. Ne da im je neko zabranio, nego dobrovoljno. Jer im je mrsko, neće da klanjaju, ko će to ganjati se sa tim, tako dalje. Mnogi su, izazov. Dakle, nije lako u ovome vremenu, nije lako biti musliman. Biti, poslanik alejhi selam da će doći teško vrijeme, da će ljudima biti lakše držati žerevcu u ruci, nego da očuva svoju vjeru. Evo, to je to vrijeme. Da budeš normalan musliman, da budeš insan, da poštuješ svoje, da tuđe ne barčeš, ne diraš, da budeš tolerantan, lakše je držati žerevcu nego čuvati vjeru. Jer ako nemaš u kući suport, ako nemaš u zajednici, ako nemaš okolo tebe, borba je velika. A poslanik alejhi salatu vesselam pridržavanje vjere u vremenu smutnje, kaže, kao činjenje hidžre prema meni. Pa molim Allaha dželle šanu da nas uputi, da nam poveća naš iman. Amin ya rabbal alamin. So we ask Allah subhanahu to guide us to say path and increase our faith. Amin. Any questions? No questions. Thank you. You are so nice. Assalamu alaikum.